Hey, it's Jimjamatic here, just doing a little intro to this video. Now, you might or might not know, my dear friend Anderson, who's been on many of these podcasts before, along with Sam Elliott and Alex the Hunted, and a few others, of course, is getting married on Saturday. Yeah, I know, he's tying the knot after all these years. I know, he's marrying his girlfriend Tali, and I would say congratulations to these both. And of course, unlike Sam, I actually can't make the wedding. I believe Sam's going anyway, but I can't make it. I'm too far away. I'm a bit busy on Saturday, unfortunately. Couldn't make a bachelor party or whatever. So I thought to myself, what can I do for Anderson that can show that I appreciate what he's done for me over this almost a year of podcasting he's helped me out with. And I thought to myself, I'll do a little compilation, a little best of Anderson, his little ranty moments, his nice moments, his funny moments, little moments I've been looking for every episode he's done. The worst episodes didn't manage to get some things in because they were just kind of average episodes. There wasn't much amazing to rant or laugh about, but I got the best bits in my opinion, and I'm going to have a little clip compilation of all the best bits of Anderson 9132. This is for you, buddy. Absolutely, once again, thank you for helping me out. I hope you have a great wedding. I hope the day goes well. I hope your marriage goes well for the future. And also, we won't be having Anderson the next month because after his honeymoon, he's got some other things going on. He's told me there's things that will delay him another month. So you won't see Anderson for a little bit. I don't know how many episodes it'll be, but that's not important. All important is how him and his girlfriend do, or soon to be wife. Congratulations, as I said, and I really hope you enjoy this compilation, Anderson, and anyone watching this. Ta-ta.
By the way, just so you know, there are going to be literally no holding back with this. All right, I have to be kind of politically correct on the other one because it's modern and recent. But you know what? 18 years ago, I don't give a toss what anyone thinks about what I think about this.
And then, yeah, as you mentioned there, Barry is unfortunately the one who has to go out in the first round,
Yes.
completely for no reason. And
what annoys me about it is that it was anyone could argue with me here, but you're wrong because it's me. No, I'm joking. But honestly, Barry would have won Series 1. All right, I don't care what anyone said. It's 116 friggin' kilos. The second heaviest robot of the series was Dreadnought at 92 kilos, so it was 14 kilos heavier.
in fact, it's heavier than the weight limit now.
Yeah, it's heavier than the weight limit now. You know what I mean? It was such a heavy robot. It could have. I mean, and again, with all that push and all that talk against robots. I mean, remember, most of the robots in this series were below, 70 kilos. A lot of them were middleweights, lightweights, and featherweights. Barry would have dominated. This series was Barry's, and he got screwed over by the friggin'.
Speaking of the worst thing ever.
Oh.
Your personal least favourite of this entire series, I'm not even saying heat here, series, bugs.
Oh, God. Bugs. What the hell was that thing? I'm sorry.
It's a vacuum cleaner. That's what it is.
It's a vacuum. Woo. Wow. Yes, because not being funny, right, but a vacuum cleaner didn't even prove to be a good enough opponent for Ming Dynasty in Series 7. So this is pretty much saying no. I mean, the thing is, I know it's Series 1, okay, but that thing had to be perhaps the single most uncontrollable robot I have ever seen in the history of the show. Watch every single performance it does. It just spins around on the spot and does feck all. There's just no control behind it. I think maybe Crazy Tokyo has worse control, but that's probably good because it's got the same demolisher effect. It's just too quick for its own good. Bugs wasn't that fast, and they still couldn't bloody control the damn thing to a decent fight or even.
Carry on.
Right, sorry about that. So, basically, I mean, in its gauntlet run, it bumped into one little thing and just stopped working on one side. Okay, in the trial, it had to be pushed across the line just across one lap. And in its battle, which again I will get to because that's a rant and a half in itself, the battle it was in, it was pathetic. It had no weapon. I don't count a ramming cone as a weapon. Right, that's a cop out, and you know it. Right, it's a little plastic thing on the front. That's not a weapon. Its drive was terrible. It just was so hard to control. I mean, even for a Series 1 robot, it was a really poor attempt at a robot.
I can agree. It's just a pathetic excuse. I don't get what the point of the vacuum cleaner pipe thing sticking out of it was even for. It makes no sense. Oh, yeah, I don't know, but actually, one thing I've ever got pointed out, actually, I don't know why for years, I think because I'm just so focused on how rubbish the robot is, that it came to light recently. I thought to myself, why is it plural? It's not a Gemini robot. It's bug.
Yeah.
Bug, not bugs.
Yeah, but
It's not a rabbit. It's not like it's a Bugs Bunny thing. It's just bugs.
They couldn't even get the name right.
No, they couldn't even do it. Yeah, it's an overall really bad robot, and it got very lucky in the gauntlet to get pushed halfway down the court by Matilda at one point.
Definitely so. They were very lucky in the trial as well, which again we'll get to. Yeah. Because again, that's a whole rant in itself.
Guys, we have our 4 finalists ready for the battles. First battle, we have Cunning Plan against Bugs, and this was a crap fight because of Bugs, not because of Cunning Plan, purely because Bugs was in this fight.
Right, okay, I'm going to say it now, right? The definition of a fight for me that is worthy of being classed as a fight. So, for example, like Dreadnought versus Rattus, that doesn't count in my opinion because Rattus didn't even move. Right? A battle to me is when both robots move and come into contact with each other at least once.
Yeah.
That's exactly that is the basic definition of a battle, and that is exactly what happened here. They both moved, Bugs spun around a bit, got nudged by Cunning Plan, drove onto the grill, finished. What the hell was that?
Most bare minimum fight ever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, literally, it was just like, well, lads, what do we have to do? Have a fight again? Well, we've got to move forward and touch them. Brilliant. We'll do that and then we'll commit suicide.
Yeah. Actually, I did tease earlier that there was a certain thing about what happened, why Bugs was even shitter than normal. The reason why is they mentioned afterwards they put on a caster that doesn't work.
So basically, it had the Tesco shopping trolley with the dodgy wheel effect.
Yes, it had Mace's wheels. It had those weird ones that just shopping trolleys. Those.
God, bloody sake! This is the. And also, it didn't have its weapon either. Well, you can even call it a weapon, but it didn't have that on it either, did it?
No.
What were they actually hoping to do in this fight? Just out of curiosity. Honestly,
I have no idea.
Okay, people slam certain matches. People slam. Right, Dominator 2 versus Hypnodist, which is by all means is a crap match. People slam Toxic versus MR Speed Squared, which again, rubbish match. People slam, other really poor matches out there, but unfortunately they've all escaped. Like, some of the Series 3 matches.
Actually, Napalm versus Caterkiller.
Napalm versus Caterkiller, there you go. That's one. Oh, Napalm versus Warhog, Series 5. But
yeah.
At least something happened in those matches. At least the two of them came into contact with each other more than once. At least there wasn't a stupid, fucking, pointless little plastic fucking vacuum cleaner with shopping trolley wheels on it doing bugger all and then committing suicide. This, hand on heart, ladies and gentlemen, is the single worst battle I have ever seen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, automatically brings this episode down by tenfold.
Well, the last thing I find really odd about it is that it's official picture. You can tell they took a picture before they were halfway through finishing it, because it has no front. If you look at the picture, the wheels are sticking out and it's got no wedge at the front. They just we're not done with it yet. Well, we need to take a picture of it for the show. Fine. Can get the best angle we possibly can without showing how crap.
A producer walking by with a monocle and a cigar, just smoking it, just we need to take a picture of this. It's not finished yet. Fuck it, take it now.
I broke the Sergeant's saw again.
I am actually quite annoyed because I do vlogs on the Robot Wars wiki. I did one for Worst Robots recently, and I completely and utterly forgot about Elvis.
Oh, that's bad. That's terrible.
I know. I don't think it's the worst one. We'll get to the worst one. It's quite a few series away, but I will when we get to that first one.
Could you at least spoil what series it's in?
It was in Series 6.
Oh, so it's not. Oh, okay, I was gonna say I thought it was Iron Mask then, but I guess not.
No.
I guess it must be on the list at some point though.
Yeah.
But all right, okay. Oh, we've got some spoilers there for later.
Yeah, spoilers for later. Inside tips, but no. All honestly, no. This robot is rubbish. It is absolutely.
I mean, it's weird how
it's pathetic by Series 1 standard, and that's saying something.
I know.
Anything from Heat D could have beaten this, okay? Bugs would have beaten this pile of tripe, and that thing couldn't even drive in a straight line. This is one of the worst examples of a robot I have ever seen. It makes Team Death robots look like Chaos 2. It's that bad.
As you know, this is probably the worst series, as a lot of people don't like it. And speaking of people who don't like Series 2 in the same sentence, we have my guest with me.
Hey guys, Anderson9132 here. I've literally I feel like I've been lobotomized by watching this Heat over again. Honestly, I just have no instinct to do anything anymore. Microwave door on it, so it was...
you might as well. Yeah, I'm waiting for my pizza to be done. To be honest, with you. It's just this thing is amazing. It's infamous. It really is.
It is. Let's put it this way, right? It is the room of robots on Robot War. It's and so bad that you can't help but love it.
But yeah, it's not as bad in the trials though, and we have a new trials for this. Oh goodness, there's a little segue actually. We have Skittles, which is it's all right.
I don't like this trial at all. It's just a bunch of robots driving at barrels. Woo, whoopty feckin' do.
It's not fun to watch.
What I think is really funny though is that the only one robot, which is the robot that did best in this trial, actually did better than a robot in the second Heat it appeared in.
I know, and again, that's the problem with inconsistencies, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean Roadblock nearly lost.
Wow.
Not now, but in Heat G, and it still had more points than every single robot apart from one in this Heat. That's just pathetic. In fact, no, I think it had more than the winner of the Heat as well. The winner of the trial.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because Olympia got 23.
Yeah.
Evolution got 20. So yeah. That's quite bad.
That's complete inconsistency. Again, exactly. The best robot of this Heat did worse than the worst type. Oh, that's just daft.
It's like the PewDiePie of Robot Wars. You know what I mean?
Like... Yeah, Razor is infamous. Now, to its credit, for this series, Razor probably could have won the Heat and done quite well in the series if it hadn't been as unreliable as it normally is.
Oh yeah, I think we can safely say, in all fairness, all right, because I mean, I know I'm not a massive fan of Razor. I'm probably the biggest Razor disliker on the internet. But when it comes down to it, I'm always willing to say I respect it. Always willing to turn around and say I think it did. You know, it was a brilliant idea. It worked when it actually did work. It was very effective. I think, to be honest, if it was reliable for Series 2, 3, and 4, it would have won them as much as it won, you know, the later series and all that stuff. The only and again, like I don't like, you know, it deserves the praise it gets because obviously, you know, I can see why some people find it entertaining, and also it did win practically everything thrown at it. The only reason I don't like it is just simply because I found it boring.
It does have a very same style of attack. It just grabs a robot, lifts it up, pits it, puts on a flamethrower, just puts a few holes in it.
Yeah, that's literally it.
After a while, that gets very boring.
Well, it just slows the match down as well. I mean, like, you know me, I'm a big fan of back and forth, close battles, which are fast paced. You know, robots driving all around the arena, slamming into each other. You know, each getting good attacks on another, lots of damage and all that good stuff. Razor would poke 2 holes in the robot very slowly and then just leave it and wait for the judge's decision. What-de-do.
Yeah, it won.
I don't think it won all, you know, half of its fights. But it won nearly half of its fights by judge's decision alone.
I mean, that shows you how weak technically it was, really. The fact that a robot with no wheels on like a seesaw and only has 2 of its 6 wheels on the floor can somehow push you into the pit.
Going back to last episode, though, I said this with pain. I'm going to say it again now with but the Parthian shot. Where was the reserve?
I agree.
Okay, you had Malice. You had Bumblebot. You had Jim Struts.
Forklift.
You had, what was the other one called? Another one.
Lateral Thought. Lateral Thought.
That's it. Lateral Thought. I'm just like, well, why don't you use one of them?
Yeah, they were fine.
You know, why? I mean, and again, it makes the entirety of the gauntlet pointless because yes, everyone can argue, oh well, they only did those runs in case they got it running again, and it's like, yeah, but why not get a reserve in there?
Just in case.
Now, right, we've just been made to watch 10 minutes of this gauntlet, and it didn't matter where any of them came because the robot that they were waiting for didn't work.
Yeah.
The best thing about this robot was the guy's accent.
Oh, the Yorkshire.
Yeah, General Carnage. It was absolutely brilliant.
The best battle of the entire series. King Buxton versus Robodoc. I probably would say it is.
This is my favourite battle of the whole series.
I agree. Because it's actually a good battle.
For many reasons. One, it was close. 2 very interesting designs for the time, fighting it out, and all guns are blazing. 3, the PPZs were not clusterfucks, which shocked the hell out of me. I mean, literally, there was quite a few times that both of us went into the PPZs and they were actually able to get out without being gang raped.
Yep.
So, yes, get in. And 4, Wait, that's it. Sorry.
Oh,
no, and 4. Yeah, it started one of the arguably the first ever rivalry in Robot Wars.
maybe, yeah.
So I think it is the first ever rivalry, along with Chaos 2 and Mace. Actually, yeah, Chaos 2 and Mace was okay, all right.
Havoc. The mace isn't a weapon. I'm just going to say that. That's not a weapon. That's just it's just a ball on a
dangly dangly metal thing. No.
Yes.
I mean, they would have done more damage with one of those spring ball things that you have for your pet cat. You know, one of those like weird handles with like a string on it with a floppy ball. They would have probably done better with that. I mean,
this thing's got a ton of ground clearance.
The lifter looked kind of cool.
I guess. But the ground clearance on this robot is phenomenal. I mean, it's like Rottweiler level. I mean, actually, I've got a slight thing to say, because remember last time with Rottweiler's heat, you said, oh, it can't be 5 centimeters ground clearance. It has a 5 centimeters ground clearance. I double checked it.
Oh.
It was 5 centimeters. It says 50 millimeters. That's 5 centimeters.
There is no way that is only 5 centimeters.
Hey.
Well, thank you for commenting, Dominic. By the way, if you're watching this.
Oh, that was great. That was I mean, we had Simon Harrison before. Now we've got Dominic.
Simon Harrison, mate. These two. I mean, Dominic, right, is the real MVP. just simply for taking time out of his day to write that entire paragraph. I mean, that entire comment. It was like 15 paragraphs long. Fair play. And he does raise a good point. High ground clearance is a sign of a necessity in this series because of the gauntlet. Fair play, understand that. But there's a limit to how high it needs to be, and I mean
that is true. I mean, Death it's so slow. It's got no ground clearance. It's got 2 millimeters of ground clearance.
I mean, now again, this is going back to what we were saying earlier. You know, there's such thing as there's too much ground clearance to be that more than necessary, but there's also too little in Series 2. And that makes me wonder, why the bloody hell did they go for the sodding ram rig with that?
I don't know. Cause
they would have been better off going down the route with the pits in it, because, I mean, if I'm right in thinking, the Sentinel was in this heat.
Yeah.
And it was a flat, low robot, so it would have had a chance trying to get past that.
Actually, what
I don't
they
think
should
it would
have,
but it would have had a chance. The thing is, Tender Caress got knocked out immediately, practically. But if you saw, right, Dead Metal grabbed Flirty Skirty, took it to the side, and actually, if it had let go then, Flirty Skirty would have gone out first.
Yes.
But instead, it held onto it, chopped into it for a few more seconds, and then dropped it.
Yes. And
what's the point?
This is why.
I mean, I love Dead Metal, but that's stupid. That is just pure bull. Well, there you go. No, it's so stupid. It does my head in. It really does my head in. This is why it didn't work. The PPZ was the dumbest thing to be brought into Robot Wars. And when Series 3 came along and it was no longer there, I was a happy boy.
Yes,
actually, in all honesty, I didn't actually discover the PPZ till much years later when I actually watched Series 2 on YouTube. But the point still stands. The PPZ is dumb.
Infernal insurrection. Well, I barely call this a battle. Can I call this a battle? This is just Sergeant Bash having an orgasm.
This is what. Daft, yeah. And this is Dietor.
Nemesis.
Nemesis. Sorry, this is Nemesis. This is George Francis's Sacromalot before Sacromalot existed thing, covered in petrol and being set on fire by Sergeant Bash. It's funny, it's silly, it's daft. I loved it.
I mean, they battle, and I will admit, both these robots it fought have some of the weirdest names I've heard in my life. One's called Automatic Jack.
That just sounds like a sex toy.
It does, and the other one is Death Jester.
You see, that sounds like some sort of Finnish metal band.
It does actually. Death Jester. Death Jester.
It sounds like something that would open for Children of Bodom.
Or
Rammstein.
Now we have a breakup from the Super Showdown to get you the Internet Insurrection. My God, these websites look so out of date. When you look at them nowadays.
Yeah, and what a stupid thing to have a grudge over. I mean, there have been some silly things, all right? I mean, there was that stupid thing with Napalm and Thermidor about the bloody, women don't belong in Robot Wars guff. There was that, There
was Plunderbird 5 and Chromalot.
Plunderbird 5 and the Morgue over who was the best singers
in the
competition.
Jesus Christ.
The University Challenge, I never understood why we needed to see who the best university was. Whatever. We all know it's Hull. But, joking. But jeez Louise, I mean, who's got the best web page? Are you friggin' serious? This is just so daft.
Slippery Strana getting bullied, and a weird random long shot, and then they just said, "Oh, they won."
Yeah. Okay, now I actually know why this was.
Why, go on?
Because in the battle, all the robots were very poorly driven, barely moved towards one another, and the house robots thought, like, well, this is boring. Let's go out there and make it exciting. All the house robots attacked the lightweights, and then Cease was called. So obviously the judges had no idea how to friggin' judge this thing, so they just said, move about a bit. So the drivers all moved around, and because Slippery Shriner was the most mobile at the end, they were like, well, they win then.
Genius.
I shit you not, that is how Slippery Shriner won the lightweight championship. And what's quite upsetting about it though is that I don't know who it was, but apparently one of the team members of a different team was very upset about the decision, and actually tried to get into an altercation with the driver of Slippery Shriner after the battle.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I know, but also quite low when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That'd be funny. If you're that upset about losing, build a better one.
It had a good go against T2, definitely, if it worked, but it
looks really good as well. I mean, it's one of the better looking robots of the Heat, I'd definitely say, and one of for Series 3 robot, very good looking in general.
Like, I can still
it work.
You can still enter this in Series 5 and probably look okay. But
yes.
Here's the thing, right? I still don't know. Was it interference, or was it just the robot just didn't work? What?
I honestly don't remember.
Because basically, it didn't move off the bat, then it moved forwards and backwards, and then got stuck on the spikes, and then the house robots attacked it.
I don't know whether I think it might have been interference, but
it didn't move smoothly.
It could have just very easily been a robot that wasn't working properly. I mean, it is Series 3, though. It makes Backstabber's axe look like Mortis's. That's
does.
How bad. That's how slow this thing. I mean, and Backstabber's literally just dropped, didn't it? It didn't even fire. It just fell down.
God, this robot sucks.
I know. Well, there's two major complaints I have, and they're both about the weaponry. One, the axe is, as we said, rubbish. I mean, I think you could do more damage flicking rubber bands at your opponent, to be honest. And the second one is that spike punch. Like you said, not only does it rift the robot up, but also it's put on the point of the robot, but it's like set upwards. So when it fires out, I mean, it looks quite a long spike, but because of the fact that it's set up on that ramp bit on this point, it won't actually hit very far out. You know what I mean? Because it won't go too far past the point of the body.
Yeah, it's just the International League, and unfortunately, I had to drag Anderson into this one.
I am way too sober for this. Okay, I mean, I think I need to drink like 30 bottles of beer and then break each one over my head just to help me get through this one. Because fuck me, this is awful.
This is not a good episode. If you couldn't tell, this one, it's just like I like the idea behind it, but there's just nothing.
This is to Robot Wars what Theresa May is to politics, people. There you go.
Kind of true, and then of course we get to Terra Australis. What?
It was terrible.
Later had to use, because they didn't work. They had to use Nemesis without any fur on it. Just
paint it green. I mean, what I think's really funny as well is like in the actual interview, you could tell they had no fucking clue what they were talking about when they came to this machine because they never worked it. They were like, yeah, we got some nice spikes and got some spikes, little claw things, and we're gonna use our spikes and we're gonna win. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't like Prometheus.
No,
I don't like it. I mean, it's a bit of a mess. Prometheus.
What annoys me about Prometheus is like because robot combat had been a thing in America for some time by this point. I mean, heck, it was started in America. In all fairness. I mean, okay, we perfected it because Americans are better because British are better than Americans. No offense to anybody who's American. Sorry, enough patriotism. But it annoyed me because you had all these. I mean, like you had La Machine, you had Biohazard, and these weren't contractually obligated robots by this point because it wasn't televised in America yet. You could have any of these robots to come over and represent, America, in the UK, and we get Prometheus. And what's really annoying is I believe, I don't quote me on this, but I believe there was another version of Prometheus that was entered in the US before this, which was better than this one. They didn't enter that one, they entered this one. Why?
I mean,
I just want to say this was almost perfect placing. I mean, they not only just literally drove on the back and they just turned around and whacked it in the back and destroyed it. First of all,
Yeah.
And then they just gently nudge it, and it's just the right position for Sergeant Bash's flames to reach it from like a good few feet away as well. It wasn't like it was right next to Bash. I mean, he literally just shot his flamethrower in the general direction the robot was, and it caught fire.
I mean, you didn't see him in the interview at the end, did you? Like, because obviously you had Simon and Vinny there, but then he just kind of pissed off on his own. And
he went on to check the machine out.
And the funny thing was, actually, you could tell actually how the other two weren't that bothered.
Yeah, they weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't bothered. They turned around and, Simon Scott even turned around and said, "Yeah, but this is what it's about. It's about getting mangled." And then Vinny Blood, lad that he is, you egg-headed bastard, turned around and said, "We love you, Vinny, if you're watching." He turned around and said, the way I look at it is, we've won, damn near enough everything else. We just can't seem to get this one.
Then, of course, we have possibly the best version of this series of robots, in my opinion, Ming 2. I think it's the best one. Before they started going, we'll just copy Razor at this point. I actually...
Not a Razor copy.
It is a Razor copy, let's face it.
No, it isn't. His reason for doing it was because he wanted to do something different, and a Crusher was something he hadn't done before.
It's not really... Yeah, but it just kind of had that vague vibe of Razor.
You may as well call Firestorm a Cassius copy when it isn't. There's no such thing as a copy. All right? I'm sorry, this isn't that really bugs me, but there's only so many designs you can do. Okay, does that mean that that any wedge-shaped robot is a copy is a rip-off of a La Machine?
Mate, I was only saying that because I knew you would get annoyed at it.
Oh, you're an asshole, man.
I knew it would get you. I knew you'd start ranting about.
You know me too well. I hate you, man. Seriously.
And of course, we had the second battle, which was Deotor's 21st Seeds versus Bolt from the Blue versus Ming 2, and it just ended in one flip right at the beginning of the battle. Let's face it.
No. You're making a mistake. Bolt from the Blue and Ming 2 did bump into each other once.
Oh, sorry, I missed that bit.
Yeah. Also, right, James Proctor from the Bolt from the Blue team was very, very sore about this victory. He actually wrote it, I think, on a blog or something.
Yeah.
And this is actually his actual words here. "We were robbed, if I do say so myself. Our weapon didn't break; it ran out of air. That's the same thing. I'm sorry, that's stupid. We could only use it 5 or 6 times. See, there you go. Plus, we were 15, 16 years old, and they were university engineering graduates. So basically, what they're saying is it was unfair that they won because they were younger."
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with the decision again, but I can kind of see where the ambiguity is coming from, because the rules of the pit were never really fully explained still.
No, yeah, they were never actually explained fully on the show. I mean, we only really found out these rules when the team members quickly mentioned them, by which point everybody had already gone to sacrifice their next door neighbour's cat in anger.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of an annoying thing.
But, so next time I'm joined by Alex the Hunted for, I believe so. So say a check before I start saying things that aren't true. Yep.
Because we're professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Alex is D. Yeah, he's Heat D, so that's good. So,
D, I thought you...
What?
I'm sorry, I just realised you said Alex is D, but I thought you said Alex is D.
No. No. Oh, God. I've lost Anderson here. I've lost Anderson.
Sorry.
But it's the end of the episode anyway, I don't have to worry too much.